Hi, welcome to Jen's Crafts and Cakes. Today we're going to make some homemade brownies. So to make homemade brownies, you're going to need 1 cup of butter melted and cooled, 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, 1.25 cups of white sugar, 1 cup of light brown sugar, 4 large eggs, a tablespoon of vanilla, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of cocoa powder, and 7 ounces of chocolate chips. So let's go. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put our sugar in. We're going to put our white sugar, 1¼ cups of sugar in. Then we are going to use a cup of our brown sugar. We are going to use our melted butter. I've already melted it because you have to let it cool, because when you mix it in with the eggs, it'll cook the eggs. And we're going to have 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. And when you're making brownies, if you want it fudgy, you don't want to use a mixer or beaters. You're going to use a wooden spoon or whatever type of spoon you want to mix it. So now we're going to go ahead and start mixing this. Okay, and this is what it looks like. So now, because it's cooled enough, I can go ahead and add my 4 eggs. And we also need 1 tablespoon of vanilla. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and mix this. You can also use a whisk. So I did go ahead and change out my spoon for a whisk. You want to make sure it's blended good. Once it's blended good, you're going to go ahead and put the flour, the 1 cup, you're going to go ahead and add your cup of cocoa powder. It's the baking cocoa powder you want. And we also have to have 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Yeah. Also, you're going to want a metal pan when making brownies. A glass pan won't help it to bake evenly, to where a metal pan for most baking things will help everything bake evenly. Okay, and this is what your batter is going to look like. Now I'm going to go ahead and add some chocolate chips. It says you don't have to add all the chocolate chips, so this way you can have some on top. I'm going to mix that in. There. Okay, when you put it in your pan, I already have my pan greased. I have an 8x8 pan. So it's going to be 25 to 30 minutes for a smaller pan. If you want it fudgy, if you want it more done, it's going to take about 35 to 40 minutes. And these will also make it thicker because it's a smaller pan. The bigger the pan, the thinner your brownies will be. And if you want fudgy brownies, when you go to check on it, it won't wiggle. You'll have just barely a little bit of crumb on your toothpick or a knife when you insert it to see if it's done. So now we're going to go ahead and set it in the oven for 25 minutes. Okay, so it's been 20 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and check just to see how the brownies are doing. Oh, and I'll show you. It's still very much jiggly, so we're not quite done. I will go ahead and put it on the timer for another 10 minutes. So after 30 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and check the brownies again. It's still wiggling, but it's starting to firm up. So we'll go ahead and do another 10 minutes. This is a thicker pan. It's not very thin, so it might take longer. So I'll go ahead and set it for another 10 minutes. 40 minutes. So let's see how the brownies are doing. Still got a little wiggle. So I have a funny feeling because it's such a thick pan. It's probably going to end up being about 50 minutes. So we're going to go ahead, put it back in for another 10 minutes. Okay, after checking, I broke it down to every 5 minutes. So after 55 minutes, let's see how it looks for the brownies. Okay. Go ahead and shut this. I'm going to use a knife. And see the crumbs on it? That's what you want if you want a fudgy brownie. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and stick it outside so it cools down. And be back and show you what it looks like. And here we have the brownies. If you'd like to see more recipes, please subscribe below. And the recipe will be in the description. Thank you.